Welcome back to Gut Tales. I'm Emma, and today we are going to talk about the spinal tap procedure. I learned last week that I'm going to have a spinal tap, and I am terrified. It wasn't necessarily surprising to me, but I still don't want to undergo this procedure. However, those of us with IBD know that we often have to do hard things that we don't want to do so we can find out what is going on with us. And for me, this is one of those instances. So back in 2014, I had elevated platelets. My doctor started tracking it then, and in 2019, 2020 timeframe, my primary care doctor noticed a trend. She noticed that my platelets were slowly climbing. And so she flagged it. She said, look, talk to your gastroenterologist about it, but I'm also going to refer you to hematology because, oftentimes the only way we can catch some leukemias is through like slow increase of platelets. And so, my GIs had always known that my platelets were a little elevated, but they always said, hey, this is most likely due to IBD. We're not really going to worry about it. However, when I saw hematology, they said, look, if you were in a constant flare, it would make sense that your platelets were high. However, in this instance, your disease has been stable. So we can't really say it's because you have IBD. So they tested me for different genetic mutations. These mutations would have been in somatic cells, meaning that if I did have these mutations, my kids would not develop it. It wouldn't be hereditary. However, I tested negative for all of those, which was fantastic news. However, at the time, my hematologist was like, we still don't know why your platelets are elevated. You are low in iron. We are going to give you an iron infusion. Let's see what happens. So I had an iron infusion. Many times this will increase the it will decrease the platelet levels. However, in my case, my platelets were unaffected. And over the years, they still continue to climb. So here we are 10 years later from when they first caught, elevated platelets. And they're like, look, we don't have a good reason why this is happening. We cannot blame your IBD for it because, again, you've been mostly stable. So it's now to the point where we're going to have to do a spinal tap because though they were able to rule out 98% of, blood disorders and cancers, there's still a 2% chance that I have something going on. And the only way to know for sure is to retrieve spinal fluid. And so, I knew that this was on the table a couple years ago when my hematologist first brought it up. I was like, under no circumstance will I ever do that. However, here I am, and I am doing it, and I'm doing it in 2 days. And I am nervous um, because one, it sounds terrifying, but two, like I am undergoing this procedure without anesthesia. Most people do not do the procedure with anesthesia. I am not. My life is busy. I'm a mom of 2 kids. My daughter has a hockey tournament coming up. I am a graduate student. I'm starting medical nutrition therapy, which, is a pretty intense class. I'm in my clinical rotations, or I'm in my dietetic rotations right now. And this is the most convenient time. And so I thought, I also don't want to undergo anesthesia. The benefit of anesthesia doesn't really outweigh the risk for me at this point. During a colonoscopy, absolutely. During a spinal tap, they can just numb the area with lidocaine. And the way it was explained to me by my hematologist was that there will be a total of 10 seconds of true uncomfortableness. And it's not even all at one time. It is 10 seconds broken into 2 5-second segments. And so I thought to myself, okay, they're going to numb the area with lidocaine. It's going to be uncomfortable for a total of 10 seconds at a time. I can do this. I can do this. Yeah, I'm still terrified. But again, my entire adult life, I have had IBD. I have had to do hard medical things that I haven't wanted to do because I didn't have a choice. I needed to make sure I was the healthiest so I could live, a healthy life. And so the way my hematologist explained it to me is he said, look, there's a 2% chance you have some kind of, blood disorder. He actually said that in his assessment, I have a 0% chance of having leukemia right now, which for a doctor to say 0% chance, like I've never heard that. So that's great news. However, he said that if I do happen to have a blood disorder and it goes untreated, it absolutely can develop into leukemia in the future. And because I'm so young, I have a long life to live. So whatever is going on, they want to catch it now. So we can do whatever medical therapy is or interventions are necessary. So I do hopefully live a long life because again, I have 2 kids. Things are busy and I'm used to having to do hard things that I don't want to do. And this is one of those times. And so I will absolutely keep you all updated on how it goes. Again, I am really nervous, but I will let you all know what the procedure feels like. I actually considered putting like a thermal nail polish on so I can see how my body temperature changes throughout the procedure because I'm pretty sure I'm going to be quite cold in the beginning or really, really hot, depending on what my nerves are doing because I am anxious and nervous right now, so I can only imagine when the time comes. But again, I will keep you all updated. I hope you all have a great day and we will meet again soon.